My wife left me because of a little misunderstanding. I can't believe my wife would leave me for something so little. My wife and I have misunderstanding like normal couple. During such misunderstanding, I threatened to send her packing back to her father's house. I never meant it, but I loved the power and leverage that it gave me because she usually stops talking or arguing when I threatened her with those words. Recently, I noticed it no longer had as much effect on her because she kept talking back to me and dared me to do it. She asked me who told me that her father's house is not conducive. One day we had a huge fight. I threw out her belongings, asking her to return to her father's house to learn some morals before she returned with her family to apologize to me. I thought she would plead with me like she usually does. Instead, she grabbed her belongings and left, leaving the children with me. I thought it was a joke until a few days rolled by and she never returned. I reached out to her family and her father told me my wife wasn't under his roof and she never arrived there. I reached out to her siblings and all of them claimed not to have seen her. They expressed surprise that she wasn't under my roof. They gave me an ultimatum to find their daughter. Even though they denied not knowing where she was, I strongly believed that she was with one of them. I never knew my wife could be so cruel. She left her young children with me and she never looked back. I always told her that any day I sent her packing, she would leave without children because she didn't bring any of them while coming to my house. I never believed she would bring herself to do this. Taking care of the children took a toll on me. I never knew taking care of children could be so difficult and stressful. I couldn't trust anyone with the children. Since they were slowing me down and I went late to work and I almost got fired, I spoke to my mom and told her I was bringing the children to her because I couldn't cope with looking after them. She told me I could drop them off with her. I got to my parents' house and I couldn't believe who I found there. My wife was with my parents. The woman I was looking for was with my parents. I felt so betrayed because I had reached out to my parents, complaining to them about my wife's disappearance. Never in my wildest dream did I believe that my parents knew where she was. All along, I believed it was my in-laws who were hiding my wife, not knowing it's my parents. I lost my temper and lashed out at my mother. My father stood up and asked me not to yell at his wife in his compound. He said I didn't want my wife, so they took her to take care of her. My mom took the children from me and they ran to their mom. She never said a word to me. I drove off in anger and she didn't even run after me. I dialed her phone number and it was still unreachable like it had been for weeks. After a few days, I reported the incident to my dad's elder brother, but he told me to sort my issues out with my parents. Everyone seemed to be turning their back against me. What is annoying me now is that I want my wife back, but my parents said they are not ready to give her back to me because I don't value her and I haven't learned any lesson. Imagine. What lesson? My own wife I married with my hard-earned money. My parents are holding her against my wishes. I contracted my in-laws to inform them of the latest developments. I told them to call their daughter to order or I end the marriage. I was shocked when they told me to end it if I wanted because I'm not the only man in the world. Has marriage lost its value like this? Parents now interfere in their children's marriage and don't make peace anymore. It's been months now and my wife isn't back home. In fact, it looks like I have made mistakes sending the children to my parents because now they are not in a hurry to let my wife go. My wife in turn seems not to be in a hurry to return to her husband. She seems to be enjoying the attention from my parents as if it's them she got married to or who married her. I'm now living like a bachelor when I'm a married man and my wife isn't even moved. I go to visit my parents every weekend now so I can see my family. My wife has never said a word to me. She walked past me like she doesn't know me. I never meant to send my wife away. I just wanted to teach her a lesson. I need advice on how to get my wife from my parents because the odds are against me now. How can I get my wife back?